Welcome back to the one and only Speculation Alley. It's your boy A-Bomb here, and of course, as always, with me, my brother from another mother, Crypto Dilly. What's going on, my man?
Doing good, doing well.
Yeah.
Excited to talk a little bit about your experience and maybe get a little speculation in on what we expect the results of that to lead into.
Well, that's what we're here for, right? Some speculation, but we want it not to be groundless speculation, right? So let's get
True.
into it. Yes, the other day I was invited into a small group of individuals to do like essentially a test with the other side. The other side is BAYC's metaverse that they're building out. Now, we were on a tier 5 land deed, which was the clubhouse and the BAYC area. You could go into it, check a lot of stuff out. There's a lot of texture. It was a fantastic experience overall. But there was some alpha with 10KTF stuff, and as well, I think Ape Fest. And this is what I want to get into, is the Ape Fest speculation, because we were noted as we were being taken throughout like a tutorial of this land deed, essentially, that you could see in the skyscape in the background, that you could see essentially the skyline of Hong Kong. Some of Hong Kong's most iconic buildings were layered out on the land over this hill. So what I started to think was, Ape Fest, right? We got Ape Fest 2023 coming up in Hong Kong. Why am I seeing the skyline of Hong Kong in this digital metaverse? Unless that means potentially they are going to host their 2023 Ape Fest not only in Hong Kong IRL, but also in the other side. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I'm with you on that. And on their website, you actually, if you go to apefest.com, it says right there, plain text, it says, join the fun globally and virtually. Can't make it to Hong Kong. We'll have ways for apes to participate virtually and are also working with the BAYC community to host IRL events globally. So they're already like working on a metaverse experience. And this makes a lot of sense. Like when you think about your experience there with a small test group of 40 people going in and being able to like explore the land and basically traverse this landscape, and it's super exciting. One, you're there, you're doing it with your friends, but then you also are able to interact and engage with those individuals about like an experience that you had. And that's the whole idea of coming together to an IRL location like Hong Kong or New York, is like you are there to meet all these other people that are like-minded and share something with you. And so that experience, if we can actually expand beyond just the reach of, oh, well, I don't have the money to go to Hong Kong, or I don't have the ability to take time off work to go to New York City, or whatever it might be, those limiting factors, if you can eliminate those and allow all apes to be able to experience those same IRL experiences, but in a digital way, like 100%, they're going to do that. And some really key examples that I think we can revert back to are like the beginning of this experience, in my opinion, was like Fortnite, with these musicians coming in and like performing online, and you'd have thousands of people tune in to watch, these different artists, Ariana Grande, and I forget all the names of the different artists that have
Travis
done it.
Scott, there's a few
Travis
of them.
Scott, and they do this like huge, experience around it, and all these people are able to experience it, but they're only able to experience it with, a couple hundred of their friends, right? Or even limited to 100, right? But with spatial audio and the way that the other side is being built out, and the improbable too, like that experience, dude, the sky is the limit on what's possible. And you brought up some really cool like mechanics that could be introduced, like scavenger hunts and rewards and different things like that. I want you to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because like you're saying, you want to share in this experience, but like, how do you make it equally as fun for somebody that's not there IRL? And I think you could do many things. Like you could do little like POAP things, or different, like a scavenger hunt. Like if you find 3 of these pieces of paper throughout, like, the map of Hong Kong they've laid out, maybe you get a free claim to something. Maybe it's something really cool. Maybe it's like a M1 serum, or a gremlin toad or something like that. I don't know, but like they have the understanding, I believe, and the ability to do that kind of stuff. I'm just wondering if they will. But from this, I see them moving into more of the next direction, is like concert. When we were also in the other side test, there was this almost like this outdoor venue, very similar to like the Hollywood Bowl, right? If you have this like kind of like staged area, here's the platforms down here, and then you have this very intimate setting. I could see them doing some live performance, not live performance, some digital performances there with anybody from a stand-up comedian to a major artist, even if they're not major. I mean, you know that we have Illa, the producer, in this. He's been dropping a whole bunch of like, I got this artist with this ape that he's bringing in, this mutant stuff. So I can see them definitely pulling some strings to make stuff like that happen too. And again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. So it was a really fun experience. I think there's a lot of alpha in there. And yeah, I think that the other side is just gearing up to really blow some people's socks off. But Ape Fest 2023 is definitely, probably definitely the place that I feel like that's where it's going to happen, is in the other side in that Hong Kong landscape that they sort of designed.
What's really interesting about this is that realistically, like, we've had token gated experiences where we're token gated by the deed that we're able to like get access to the first trip, the second trip, that kind of stuff. What's really fascinating as we traverse this new landscape is that eventually there will be token gated access to events that are happening in the metaverse as well. And so like you may not have, an ape or a mutant ape. And so this could be the first experience that we see happen in the other side that is token gated for apes exclusively. Right. And so like you might have, an other deed, but you're not going to be able to experience Ape Fest without having, an ape. And so like there's different magnitudes to the like exclusivity of events as well. And I think this opens a lot of doors to possible ideas for corporate events or experiences that, brands will actually want to host, musicians. You mentioned earlier off camera how like as an artist, you can make X amount of money per night hosting at a venue in real life. However, when you expand that to allow for the metaverse, and you could sell tickets at maybe a fraction of the price and gain entry to experience that with your friends. And like you could do that at any one of their locations and blend the reality of those. Like the limitations that we have now, all that will go away. And like I think about it like, dude, we could go to a concert tomorrow and you're in LA and I'm in like another location and we could literally like meet up in the metaverse to experience the exact same thing as it would be done in real life. And one thing that I see is that these digital experiences will become more popular than the IRL experience. And I've already seen that with like some of the sports that I like to watch. I would much rather watch like the Super Bowl at home with all the different camera angles and being really close to the experience way more than being in the nosebleeds watching that same experience. Now, the actual environment and everything like that changes that aspect, but we're moving towards a more fully immersive experience that allows you to do those things.
Well, what you just said, I feel like is the biggest point. Like, right, like you get the tight angles and all that stuff, but you compromise like the energy that you feel in this packed stadium. So this will mitigate that whole like compromise essentially, where like I can still look over at you and be like, oh my god, like you know what I mean? Like as we're at we can still be like at the Super Bowl and like have digital screens up in front of us that are like right in front of our faces, and we can watch the close-ups, but still see the actual field down there as well, and see each other. It's going to expand the experience, not like make us have to compromise and choose one or the other. But yeah, I'm really excited for it.
And we're not having to wear like haptic suits that are, vibrating my body and like running on a treadmill and stuff like that, right?
No, none of that. I mean, unless you want to, we could totally set that up. They got some spots here in LA, so let me know.
Let's make it happen. I like it. Well, I mean, yeah, that's this week's speculation. Make sure to leave a like on the video. Comment what you think the next like metaversal experiences are going to be like, what your opinions of that idea is going to be. Subscribe to the channel, and then we actually discuss these same topics every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Twitter Spaces. So come join us, hang out, eat some popcorn, get those Butterfingers, and speculate about whatever you want. And yeah, that's all I got. Anything last words from A-Bomb?
No, man. I think that's it. I just want to say, yeah, the whole point of this is to get the community involved and get their engagement. So I'm really curious to hear what they think some of the near metaverse experiences are: concerts, comedy shows, like what do we like, dog shows? What do we think?
Podcasts.
Yeah, like what are we? But again, it's like got to be, and also the onboarding factor, right? Like how are we onboarding people to that? So let's jump into the Twitter. Let's talk about it. But for now, appreciate you watching. Have a good day.
Peace.